Hello and welcome to the Space Between Ideas. I'm Blaine Gates. Today will be basically the first of the 100 stories. I think that saying 100 business coaching stories challenge is a little bit long, so we'll just call it 100 stories. I'll probably type out the full name. Now, if you've tuned into Space Between Ideas in the past, if you look on my website, you'll often hear me talk about my mission. My mission is to help people to overcome emotional, intellectual, and structural hurdles so that they can achieve great results. Now, this is a good question, really, because the thing is, when you're doing business coaching, you never really know when you meet somebody, are they dealing with an emotional problem? Do they have some intellectual limitations? Or are they trying to solve some kind of structural issue? And everyone's different. And it's crazy, because you're just going to meet tons and tons and tons of people. And some people you're going to vibe with, and some people you're not going to vibe with. And some people they have serious emotional issues, and they need someone that they can talk to, someone that will listen to them, and because they basically just want to hear themselves talk through the issue and come up with some kind of solution. And also maybe they need someone to listen, and then because they really don't know what to do. So it's a combination of an emotional issue and an intellectual issue. So they need you to help them to organize their thoughts. And then maybe it's some kind of structural issue where they need to frame an issue and then understand the context and then find the missing pieces. So, in the second one, this is where you have somebody who is generally, it seems like an emotional problem at the beginning, but then after they start really sharing what they're feeling and what they're experiencing, then you discover that they don't really know how to put the pieces together. Or it's a structural thing where there's like a lot more pieces than they expect. Maybe they don't have enough experience to see how all the missing pieces fit together, or all the the context. And that's these checklists that Tom Buchholz created, the direct outcomes checklists, the 4 dimensions. This helps people to frame issues. Intellectual, often I'm just listening to people talk, and then I help them to organize their thoughts. You can also use these checklists to help people organize their thoughts. So what I've done is, I actually, when I worked with this student a long time ago, I used to use a different system. It wasn't the 4D business coaching. It was more like 3D, working with partners, developing projects, managing people. And now it's 4D. So now it's just like results dimension, decision dimension, catalyzing dimension, strategic dimension. So I think the place to start is with this progress. So I've created a separate, this is the state progress checklist from the book Create Crucial Insight. And, the basis behind any project is to shape some potential, to form some agendas, and then create those effects. And after you achieve the outcomes, then the reuses go back down into your resources. You have some motivations and interactions, and then you make some assumptions, build those solutions, choose a plan, and take action. And it's just this circle. So constantly going through this cycle. And what I've done was I've gone through the work that I did with this student. I've pulled out a lot of his information, and I put it within the context of this the state progress checklist. So we can look specifically at his outcomes, and then we can look at the action that he was thinking about taking. We can talk about some scenarios that he was considering. We can look at some assumptions that drove those scenarios. We can talk about some interactions. We can look at some motivations. So now, how did I get all this information, right? So all of these pieces we didn't pull it out. So the thing is that you can just get someone to talk based on this state progress checklist, but that's not how we did it. I went through a completely different process where we went through, pieces. We basically used 3 different tools in order to come up with this final result. So I think we'll talk about that tomorrow.